the artist might step behind and look at the picture at the painting, and then he'll be like, a little brush here, a little brush there. And to us, to regular people who don't know much about art, they might not have seen the difference. All right. But those little strokes, those little extra strokes that he made on the painting might be the determining factor of whether his painting goes on a museum or it just stays on his shelf at home. All right, guys, what is going on? Welcome back to my channel. I am really glad to have you guys here, and I'm actually excited. I've been wanting to do this video because besides the backstory and besides the the message and the value in this, I feel like it's something really important, and it's actually really huge, and we overlook this. So I thought I'd bring it back and talk a little bit about this, and hopefully shine a little light on you guys, and maybe it'll help you, whether it's for your business or whether it's for yourself, or maybe a business, a product, or something that you're trying to grow. Hopefully this video helps you with that. So stay tuned. All right. First of all, we're going to start with a little bit of backstory. So I've started to pick up on running lately, and I've ran 3 miles. I'll go run 3 miles, and then this time I went. Because I run at a park. The park is called Blueberry Park, and I run there. I just do some laps, and I track how much I'm running with my phone. So now this time I said I'm gonna go for 5 miles because 3 miles have become kind of easy for me. And I'm not bragging, all right, but obviously with time and with practice and with exercise, you start to get better. So now 3 miles became easier, and this time I went to run. It was actually last week that this happened. I went and I ran, and I said I'm going for 5 miles, so I wanted to push myself a little more this time. And I did, right? I was on my fourth mile, and the whole time that I'm running, I'm running in circles. I'm just making laps around around the park, and the whole time that I'm running, there's also an old man walking in the opposite direction that I'm running. So I keep crossing this guy. I keep crossing him. I keep crossing him every time. Every time I do a lap, I see him, and he I think he didn't want to stop me. All right. I think he didn't want to stop me because every time I crossed him, I was running. So he probably didn't want to interrupt my my exercise. But what I do on my runs is I'll run. I'm not no fucking I'm not some kind of David Goggins and shit that I can run nonstop for who knows how many miles. No, I'm barely fucking starting. I can do 3 miles, but I take breaks. I'll slow down. I'll speed walk, get and catch my breath, hit it hard again. Speed walk, catch my breath, hit it hard again. This time that I crossed him when I was walking. I was on my fourth mile. No, I was on my fifth mile. And this time he caught me walking and he stopped me, right? And he starts to tell me about running. He's this Russian, this older Russian man that he he told me. He stopped me and he said, "You're running," and he showed me. He said, "When you're running like this," and he showed me how I was running. So I was like, okay, like what's wrong with that? Like I'm running, okay, and he's like, well, that's what I thought. I didn't take it wrong, but at first I didn't see any issues with the way I was running. I didn't see anything, right? But he did tell me, he's like, when you're running like this, just go like this just a little bit more. Just make your move your feet like this a little bit more. And I said, okay. He said, and your body from the waist up, maybe do it like this a little bit, and that'll help you run better. He said. Now, I said thank you to the man because I appreciate any advice. I appreciate anybody who maybe sees that I'm doing something in a way that I can do it better. And if you're coming to me with the right intentions, I'll give it a try. If it doesn't work for me, I'll let it go. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad for taking my time to try something new, because you never know if something works or not unless you give it a try, right? So I try this, and I realize that I run way better. He gives me these tips, and I ran so much better. All right. And I realized something. I wasn't getting as exhausted when he told me how to run. I wasn't getting as exhausted as I was at first with the way I was running. And those changes that I made were very, very minor changes. I continued my run. I finished my fifth lap. Now this is where I realized, right? So I finished 5 miles. Now I was already tired. I was exhausted. Again, I'm not no runner that's always doing this. No, I've picked up on it more, and I'm actually getting hooked on it, which I'm just really enjoying that, right? So I'm trying to do it a little more. I'm running a little more. Maybe next time I'll try and run a few more miles than 5 or 6 miles. But look, I had done 3. I went for 5 that day. I ended up doing 6. The reason why I was able to do 6, all right. Well, I was gonna go. If I hadn't met him, if I hadn't seen him there, I was probably still. I might have still pushed for the 6. I went for 5, but I was telling myself, depending on how I'm feeling, maybe I'll try. I'll try for 6. I'll try to go for 6. After 5, I was done. I wanted to sit down. I wanted to stop running and just catch my breath, drink some water, and relax. Right? But no, I said, you know what? Let's go. Let's do this. One more mile. And I started running again. 6 miles is what I did. Took me about an hour to run. And the whole time that I was running, the old man, the old Russian man was still walking, right? But I'm certain that if he hadn't stopped me to talk about me, not to talk to me and tell me these tips in my running that helped me, that 6th mile would have been it would have sucked if I would have continued to run it the way that I run, or the way I was running. It probably would have been harder. It probably wouldn't. I might have been more exhausted in the end. I might have been more tired. I might have not finished it. I don't know. But what I do know is that when he showed me the tips, it made it easier, and I was able to go harder and, do more, right? This is what I learned from that. That's the backstory, but this is what I learned from that. 2 things. When you slow down, like people don't always want to interrupt you when you're going hard. They don't always want to disrupt you because they know you're busy. They know you're doing your thing, whether it's on your business or whatever it is that you're working on. They know you're doing your thing. They don't want to interrupt you. You're going hard. Hey, I see you going hard. You must know what you're doing. You this and that. But sometimes when you just slow down, you can catch your breath. There's different benefits to slowing down, right? Now, I'm not saying stopping. I'm not saying do like 0 miles an hour. No, on whatever it is, whether you're running or whether it's a business or whether it's you're trying to grow your media, your social media, or you're trying to whatever it is, right? There's something, and when you slow down, you can catch your breath, and that's okay to slow down sometimes. Not everybody can go hard 24/7. All right. Some people need to slow down, and that's okay. You can slow down, catch your breath so you can go hard again. Because if you just keep going hard, grinding, just nothing but hustle, you might get exhausted, you might get tired, and you might get burnt out. And it sucks, but that's the way it is for some people. Not everybody has the stamina that other people have. Not everybody's used to having loads of work like other people do. Like, it's not everybody. And if it's not you, you need to find a way so that you can still exceed, and so you can still succeed and excel and continue to work, right? You don't want to get burned out on doing something, because then you can slow down to the point where you might just completely stop. And that's not what I want for you. That's not what I want for anybody, especially if you're doing something big, something, if you're pushing yourself, hell no, I want you to continue. But if you need to slow down, that is all right. You catch your breath and you go hard. Me, due to slowing down, taking my speed walking and that kind of stuff when I'm running, allowed this man to interrupt me, if to step in and talk to me about how I can do it better. If I would have just kept running, he might have never stopped me. He might have never told me these tips, and I might have been running wrong the whole time. So, due to stopping, I was able to, like, this person was able to, due to slowing down, not stopping, this person was able to talk to me, help me out, and I was able to do it so much better. That's one thing. Now the other thing is, all right, in my running, I wasn't doing it right. And this man showed me how to do it. Well, I guess I wasn't doing it as good as I could be doing it. All right. And thanks to this man helping me out, now I can run better. And I did see I saw a significant difference in the way I was running versus the way that he told me to run. Now, whether you are trying to grow something, or whether you are trying to develop something, or maybe there's something that you are working on right now and it's slowing down, or you have a business that has slowed down, or you have something that has either slowed down, or there's no like there, it has, maybe it slowed down or it came to a complete stop. Who knows, right? But sometimes, because we are trying to go so fucking hard on the things that we are working on, we don't realize that the slightest changes in certain things help us so much. And we just overlook it. We let that slide by. We don't realize that just doing something here, just doing a little bit there, maybe just switching this thing just a little bit, that might actually grow your business more than you think. There's been people that talk about their businesses, and you'll hear them talk about how they thought that a certain product was going to be the one to really take them over the top, and then that wasn't the case. But when they saw they were working on something that was not, they weren't as excited about, that's the thing that blew up. But because we're so hard, yeah, this is the thing, yeah, like I'm gonna do this, like, you overlook shit like that. All right, I just picked up on skateboarding again. I used to skate as a kid. I just picked up on it again, and I'm trying to make it a hobby of mine, because like there's a lot of beautiful things about skateboarding, and that is one of the things. All right, you will want to do a certain trick, and you have your feet placed like this on the board. This one all the way in the back of the tail, and this one you might have it like in the center, or whatever it is. Well, depending on the trick that you're trying to do, all right, this position for this feet positioning might not be the right positioning for your trick, for that specific trick. Or you might just need to, maybe your feet are like this, and you might need to just shift your left foot a little bit to the left, or maybe a little more the other side, like however it is, right? But slight movements in the feet when you're on a skateboard, that will determine how well the board flips, how well it pops, and how well your trick looks, like how it comes, how you land it. Like, a lot is in the feet positioning. All right. But like, sometimes people get so caught up on trying to do a kickflip, trying to do this, trying to do that, that they don't even slow down and say, let me try to just slide my foot just a little bit to the left, or let me twist it just a tiny bit. I find beauty in that kind of stuff. I find excitement in that kind of stuff, because the little things are sometimes, right? Not every time, but sometimes the little things that we overlook are the things that keep us from growing. And unless we shift those things, unless we, unless we slow down, take a look at those things. Like you gotta slow down, look at the bigger picture. All right, look at it like if like an artist. All right, you look at the bigger picture, and the artist might step behind and look at the picture at the painting, and then he'll be like, a little brush here, a little brush there. And to us, to regular people who don't know much about art, they might not have seen the difference. All right? But those little strokes, those little extra strokes that he made on the painting might be the determining factor of whether his painting goes on a museum or it just stays on his shelf at home. Like these kind of things, there are people out there that pay attention to the small changes, to the small things that are, that play a part on the things that you are presenting to these people. I realized that in this run, when I went to run, right, that really just got in my head, and I haven't stopped thinking about that ever since, because we get so caught up in the noise. We get so caught up in we gotta go hard, because if you look on social media, a lot of people are talking about you gotta go hard, you gotta hustle, you gotta try, you gotta work as much as you can. Do the again, it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. All right. But in the middle of all this noise, we forget to look at the bigger picture and see where we might need a touch up. We forget to step back, look at the businesses, or look at the things that we're trying to grow, or look at the whatever it is, and see how you might need to make a small change. And sometimes, like I said, those changes, those little things that you are not paying attention to right now, might be the thing that either make your business go from 100,000 to 1 million, or that it could make your business keep growing, or it could make the difference between you and somebody else who is maybe your opponent, or somebody who's your competitor in the market, or sometimes those little changes are what make a difference. Those tiny things. So those things can't be overlooked. You have to try to cover the ground as much as possible. All right. That is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you actually find it valuable and that it helps you. Maybe it made you realize, holy shit, yes, I've been trying to go so hard this whole time that I haven't slowed down a bit to, take a deep breath, take a look at this thing, and see how I can switch the little things like that. I can't stress this enough. That thing, those little changes are so important. So important. Well, I'll see you guys on the next one, all right? If you did like this video, please give it a like. Leave a comment down below if there's anything that you want to say down there. And if it did help you, you should subscribe, and also hit that bell to get notified when I upload another video. And I will see you guys on the next one. Take care and keep growing, keep developing. There's just so much in this world, and we can't leave this world. We can't leave this life without at least trying to do something great. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care and keep growing. And that'll be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did enjoy it, you should probably subscribe and also hit that bell to make sure you get notified whenever we upload another video. And one more thing before you go, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Links are on the description below. See you guys on the next one.